Lifting up his eyes to heaven, Jesus prayed, saying, I pray not only for these, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, so that they may all be one, as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be in us, that the world may believe that you sent me. And I have given them the glory you gave me, so that they may be one, as we are one, I in them and you in me, that they may be brought to perfection as one, that the world may know that you sent me, and that you loved them even as you loved me. Father, they are your gift to me. I wish that where I am, they also may be with me, that they may see my glory that you gave me, because you loved me before the foundation of the world. Righteous Father, the world also does not know you, but I know you, and they know that you sent me. I made known to them your name, and I will make it known, that the love with which you loved me may be in them and I in them. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. May all be one, so that the world believes that all are one. Unity. Unity as a prerequisite for evangelization. How can we tell the world that God is love if we are at odds with each other? And that is valid at all levels. At the family level, for example, it is so difficult today to transmit the faith to children. And if this difficulty comes from the outside, from the harassment that the world does to adolescents, to young people, if to this difficulty is added that the parents do not agree, that they dispute among themselves, or that sometimes it is even more than a verbal dispute, well then, it is very difficult for children to choose to follow the faith of their parents. On the other hand, if despite the differences in character, these legitimate differences together with the fact that one is a man and the other is a woman, if despite these differences we're capable of maintaining unity, of respecting legitimate differences, I insist, the legitimate ones, of forgiving and asking for forgiveness, of starting over, if we are capable of that, the example given is consistent with the faith that is professed, and if now, from the family that is a domestic church, we transfer it to the church in general, we see that the problem is exactly the same. The parishes, the spirituality movements, how many struggles, because some may think that it is due to deep theological differences, that there are certainly cases in which this is true, but in many cases it is the desire to command, ambition, even hiding crimes or sins, theft. I have seen two lay ministers of the Eucharist argue, because according to one of them, they let the other distribute communion next to the priest, next to the presbytery, while he was ordered to distribute communion at the back of the church, and he armed himself in argument. One felt neglected and humiliated in front of the other. How absurd! What a ridiculous thing! But it is a reality. Most of the time, unity is not broken because you have a transcendental question about such an important theological problem. It is broken by vanity, jealousy, envy, or because you're trying to get things done there, things right, and the other has to cover up what he's doing wrong. And how are people going to believe? How are we going to pretend that people believe in the God of love? If it turns out that those who preach and speak of the God of love are at odds with each other, and the parish priest does not speak to the vicar, or the vicar of this group, he does not speak to the vicar of the other group, or even within the same group there are people who do not talk to each other, And if this is what we're going to give it to the great church, we see that it is exactly the same. We have to be one as the Father, the Son, and the Spirit are. Unity. Unity is a value so important that the Lord has linked its existence with evangelization. It is Jesus who says, who prays, telling the Father, I beg you to be one as you and I are one, so that the world may believe. Differences must be respected, because otherwise unity would be uniformity. The Father did not want the Son to become dispersonalized. The Father did not want the Son to be a copy of himself. Differences must be respected, legitimate differences, but the price of unity must be paid. Yield rather than break. In the essential cannot be discrepancies. In truth, there can be no concessions. But in so many other things, we must respect that we are different, not camouflage. Furthermore, our envy or our ambition with higher motives that are nothing more than excuses to attack the other whom we are envious of, or that annoys us, or bothers us because perhaps one day it can take our place. Father, that everyone be one like you and me, so that the world may believe. Today, we have to ask ourselves if in our family, in our parish, or in our community, in our church, we are making an effort for unity, knowing how to give up on everything that is not essential, because what is essential must never be given up, knowing how to give up before what to break. So be it.